Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and we have some late breaking news from last night on Thursday around 8:30 at Tim Pool's home. I'll go ahead and start the video. So essentially what happened was during a live stream broadcast, the Tim IRL show or his home was swatted. If you're not familiar with what swatting is, it is when an individual contacts the police and says that an incident is taking place or has taken place in a home, usually with a firearm or a device that causes damage. You know what I'm referring to. I can't particularly say it here on YouTube, but you guys understand what I'm referring to. So here's Luke, and he's explaining to everyone what's going on. This gentleman here is a former police officer and basically said, I think you guys have just been swatted. This is something that's very familiar to individuals in the current events arena, as well as just social media and even in gaming. And as this police officer and Luke are explaining here, these situations are extremely dangerous because in these instances, the police are entering, as this police officer here is now explaining, that there are extenuating circumstances that allow police officers to just simply come into someone's home. And when they get a call like this, these are priority calls because they have an active individual with an active device or weapon. And so they're going to respond. Now, the idea here is in the minds of these very disturbed people that place these calls is that SWAT arrives and then not only causes disruption, but maybe even harm to the individuals that they have called this particular swatting incident on. So this gentleman here, former police officer, is kind of explaining what's going on, how extenuating circumstances unfold, and then of course the Tim crew is kind of, trying to relegate things down to, the legal procedures and processes. But these events are very fast and they're very fluid. This is also what I try to explain to individuals, for example, gun control activists, that these situations happen extremely quickly. So the idea of locking a gun in a safe or locking guns away, or of course naturally you want to be safe with children in your home, is that these incidents happen very quickly. There's very little time for people to react, to assess, to determine what's going on. And now of course Tim is coming back after the fact, explaining what's going on. Of course he's got a team, he's got a crew, he's got managers, he's got people in his residence. It's a very large home. I don't know how many people actually live there, but quite a few. And it's a very big compound, a very large mansion. They call it the Tim Castle. He has his own videos just for what he does there at his home. And so he's basically explaining how the police came in. It was, extenuating circumstances. He said, look, this isn't what's going on. And the police said, you're right, we're leaving. And so in that situation, you can leave. And the gentleman here is also explaining that same situation. Once they walk in the house, quickly determine that that hasn't happened, then the police officers will or should immediately leave. They can't just walk around and look for additional things. There's one of the officers there, I think, walking by again. But I don't think that, in other words, like he's explaining that if it happens, and say, for example, they find something that is illegal or something, right? You have some certain items, on your kitchen counter where you were engaged in some activity that evening with some friends and so forth. Well, it would not hold up in court because, it was the situation and the circumstances and so forth going on. So the reason this is so critical and important and that we talk about this, and I will link this down below for you guys if you want to watch Tim's complete outline here. And then, of course, you can go to Timcast, his regular channel. I know he's got a lot of channels. He's got Timcast IRL, he's got Timcast, he's got Timcast News, Tim Pool, that sort of thing. But you can find the entirety of his explanation as to what happened. And a few years ago, you guys may remember, 2 years ago, we talked about this as well, because this is very common within the gaming community as well, the swatting. And basically, you just have very disgruntled, very angry people who want to call the police to disrupt someone's life. They're so angry, they're so upset, they just want the other person to, suffer some sort of discomfort since these individuals were so upset. You see here from CNN, Ohio gamer gets prison time over a swatting call that led to a man's death. Just like we said, these things are extremely dangerous because it could be just someone who has a firearm in their home. The police announce themselves. Of course, criminals announce themselves also and say the police trying to break in to steal and do whatever. So an Ohio video gamer who played a role in a hoax phone call that led police to kill a man in Kansas was sentenced Friday to 15 months in prison, authorities said. Casey S. Venner, 19, was one of the 3 defendants in a case of swatting, making a false report to send police somewhere that led Wichita police to erroneously shoot and kill 28-year-old Andrew Finch at his front door in December 2017. This is why these are so incredibly dangerous. This guy is incredibly lucky to have gotten such a light sentence, 15 months in jail. So 1 year, 3 months. Typically, this is a federal offense with a minimum of 10 years. But of course, and this led to someone's death. See, this situation here with Tim fortunately didn't lead to anyone's death, but they're still very dangerous. And we'll go into that now. Here in Georgia, this happened a few years ago. SWAT team blew a hole in a 2-year-old baby. And they literally did. And so I can't show you the images, obviously. They're very graphic. This is a picture of the little boy here prior. I will show you pictures after the fact. But here you see the phone Savon family was sleeping in the same room. One bed for the parents, one for the girls, and a crib for the baby boy. After a SWAT team broke down the door, they threw a flashbang grenade inside. It landed in the boy's crib. So these are the things that can happen. You have people with dogs. My parents have a very aggressive little Chihuahua dog. That thing is a demon. And she does not let anybody come anywhere near their house or in their driveway without her knowing about it. And she will go for them. She will attack, she's a little ankle biter. If you got regular shoes on and a pair of pants, she's not going to hurt you. But she is very aggressive. And when I get around my parents, she gets very aggressive towards me. I'm surprised she doesn't attack me, but I guess because I'm, part of the family visit and that sort of thing. And we have our sister and niece and nephews. She's very fine with them. But, strangers, she's going to go for them. And this is why a lot of people's pets die, because they're trying to protect the owner, and the police often shoot them. So as you can see here from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, new $1.65 million settlement for parents of Georgia toddler injured in raid. Now you can see his face here. Of course, I'm not here to propagate or to be derisive towards this young boy. I'm simply indicating and showing to you that he was very injured in the incident. A federal judge awarded Friday a $1.65 million settlement to the parents of baby Bobo, or Boo Boo, the Georgia toddler injured in 2014 by deputies using a flashbang grenade while serving a no-knock warrant. This is a no-knock warrant. I think they were serving it in relation to a drug call or known drug issue. But the point being here is I want to talk about swatting in and of itself. I didn't want to go into all the details of this particular incident. You guys can look it up, of course. Just look up the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, and then new $1.6 million 65 settlement. But this is not unique. We see here John Smedley. John Smedley is the former president of SOE, or Sony Online Entertainment, and then Daybreak. And because of these incidents, essentially John Smedley ended up retiring. Now, he was being pursued by a group of hacker types called the Lizard Squad. And here's someone here called Hayes giving him a hard time, because this is what they do. This is what these very angry raid brigade mindset type individuals, activist types, that we talk about here often on the channel. Now, I can't necessarily say that what happened with Tim or what happened with John were specifically left-wing radical type activists, but I would probably not be too far off from these individuals having ties of some sort towards left ideology, extremism, and philosophies and worldviews. In John's case, this particular group of people were known hackers, disruptors, and this particular individual is actually from a foreign country. So you see here, Hayes is antagonizing John by saying, let's be honest here. You're not going to do anything. You're 40 plus years old, getting trolled by teenagers and getting butthurt. So he's sitting there trying to say that he's trying to antagonize Smedley, that Smedley's not going to do anything because of what had happened. But Smedley then responds, I'm 46. I've had my identity stolen, tax returns filed, I've been swatted, and many other things. So yeah, I'm pissed. So this is in reference to him filing a lawsuit against this individual. Now, this individual, I believe, is in I believe he's in Sweden. I could be wrong, but I believe he's in Sweden. He's in Scandinavia, but I believe he was specifically from Sweden. So this is when John responded that he was going to go after this individual. And of course, they keep going after John's age, and they keep going after John as an individual, because there are very disgruntled people, because of course he was the head of the gaming company, the SOE, Sony Online Entertainment, and Daybreak. And so these people who just probably don't have a lot of real life experience to understand what real disappointment is, what real hardship is. These are coddled individuals that we saw back in 13 and 14, when all of this kind of cancel culture started with these safe spaces, microaggressions, and this is what we end up getting, these very soft individuals who can't handle the challenges and difficulties of life, very similar to what we saw with individuals who couldn't emotionally and psychologically reconcile that President Trump had won the election. Now, the swatting wasn't limited to just swatting. As you can see here, Smedley responds from the year previous. Yes, my plane was diverted. Not going to discuss more than that. Just will find these guys. Now, he's been swatted for over a year. He was swatted several times. When he mentions the IRS, or when he mentions his tax identity stolen, his and his family's identities were stolen, and then false tax filings were filed to the IRS, which created even more problems for Smedley. Now, on a side note here, I respect John Smedley. He and I are actually the same age. But the thing about it is, he and just a side item, he did make some posts regarding President Trump that I did not agree with, but he's entitled to his political views. I'm not saying that what happened to him was in any way justified or a comeuppance or karma. I'm just simply saying that, you know, there are some things that I disagree with Smedley, but I'm not about to resort to anything like this in any way, shape, or form, even in situations where it is very obvious of what's going on. But swatting is a very dangerous thing. It is something that should be prosecuted, and I hope Tim pursues this, and I'm sure he will. But if you guys, like I said, want to see the full context of this, if you want to see all what transpired, I can post that now. If you guys want to go to Rumble and look up the post-millennial, I'll do that. I don't necessarily like to give a lot of these media agencies, particularly the millennial, link credit. In other words, give them the capacity to get credit for it, of course. I don't mean that in a malicious or derisive way. I do that because YouTube prioritizes a lot of these over even my own content of this particular video. So I don't want to necessarily promote the post-millennial for the purposes of promoting the post-millennial. But guys, this is very important. I hope you enjoyed the Friday vlog. If you guys haven't caught it, make sure you check out the Friday vlog. Of course, below this video, you can find all the various links to my social media where I do daily posts and talk about these particular issues from time to time and provide links. So make sure you're following me there. I want to thank everyone who is on Rumble and Odyssey and BitChute for your guys' support. Be sure, if you haven't already, to like, and of course, appearing right there on the screen, that would be the channel icon for YouTube, for all of you watching on YouTube. You can click on that to subscribe or use the red button below the video, as well as notifications to let you know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.